Hey folks, back again with ancient cosmography, the famous scene in the Lascaux caves of France. So this is my latest comparison of this, arguably my best, because I use this map which shows Zamboanga here pretty well, whereas most maps, such a small feature, small peninsula of Mindanao, that it's not very visible on most maps, whereas here you can really see it. And you can also really see the Lesser Sunda Islands, which are often not very visible because they're so thin. And they kind of blend into the water in a lot of like satellite maps. So, we got this one, I wasn't sure what to do here. I mean, this serves two purposes. I made this arrow wider because if I leave it thin, you can't see, because it's so short, you can't see the points of it. So I had to widen it since it's so short. And also I widened it to cover up, because it says, it has the end of the label of Indonesia on here, because this is Borneo, Kalimantan Islands. And so it also covers up that label just because it's kind of a distraction. So yeah, this scene doesn't include Kalimantan, and it doesn't include Java here. This is the tip of Java. So the Lesser Sundas are just these, starting from Bali right here, from Bali to, Timor. And so in this version, I included the spearhead, the Wessel Islands here. So I just zoomed in on them, but they are right there, kind of sticking out of the side of Australia. And I zoomed in also on, Torilla Peninsula, which seems to be the head of the bison, with the kind of separated upper and lower jaw being this island, and then the tip of the peninsula. I forget what that island's called. And then Warganborough Peninsula is just the horn, the lower horn, this one. And then Camp Island, just nearby, seems to be the other horn. And I think that Tasmania is actually this part of the hair that goes way up in the air over here. So, and then I zoomed in also on Busuanga to show, the birdie, which I put like an asterisk for, because he's actually right there. He's that little speck, or he's part of that little speck at the end of Palawan. So yeah, his Palawan is the long pole, this long ass island, 24 miles wide, 270 miles long. And this guy's body, the Philippines, his back feet are Taiwan, front feet are Sulawesi, head is Zamboanga, and then he has all these islands in front of his head. And the Lesser Sundas are the atlatl that the Papua used to throw the spear into Australia, and then Australia, I think they both killed each other, like they're both gonna die. Pretty sure. They're on the way out. They're having a moment together. His guts are falling out through, this area, like around probably this Van Diemen Gulf and Tiwi Islands and stuff represent his guts. And, it shows this part is like this Cape York. And so yeah, what else we got? Papua. This is his dick, his Papuan Peninsula. His legs are New Britain here, and his feet are the Solomon Islands down here. You know. All right, so that's basically that. But it's important the fact that these arrows are mostly all directly up and down. It shows that everything matches not just in its shape, but in its placement. The only things that are not directly parallel are just the smallest ones, which are Palawan and the Lesser Sundas. So those have diagonal arrows. But everything else, even down to Taiwan, was able to be like directly above itself. And so it lines up perfectly. And let's see. I guess I also wanted to talk about the fact that these represent the two major straits of the Southwest Pacific, like the two major choke points, as they're called, which are narrow straits that open up into large waterways. So in this whole area of, this is basically the major islands of the Southwest Pacific, the biggest straits that block off the biggest seas are just basically that Palawan, which blocks off access to this whole area from here and this whole area from here. And so that's why there's this battle between Busuanga, Palawan versus Zamboanga, Mindanao, because the battle between these two represents the most difficult and one of the most difficult and important straits that sailors need to know for this region. And then these guys are battling Australia and Papua, and again, that's the other biggest strait of the entire Southwest Pacific, because look how close together they are. And the waters, you can tell it's really shallow because it's the light color, and there's even a bunch of islands between like the tip of Cape York and Papua. So that again is some more difficult sailing, and it separates, this entire sea from this entire,